Hey guys, how you doing? The other day I put out a video on this new season, Warlords season, and talked about the trailer that introduced this new season, Robot Tags, and got a couple of gameplay examples here of different tags but on the same map. Of just how there's a big disconnect with Command the Frontlines and the battlefield is for the bold. I think wargaming should, I don't disagree with those two statements, right? That's good. No problem with that. But the reward system, somebody should inform the wargaming that the reward system in this game needs to be revamped. It needs to be just totally taken apart. I know it was done a long time ago. It was done for PC, of course, and the World of Warships. It's wargaming's scoring system is just. If you're going to talk about going to the front lines, well, that's where I try and play all the time. I always try and play aggressive, go to the front, play boldly. Try to win. But it seems like the more you try to win, the more you just put on the team who's not even trying to win. So, two different outcomes in these two matches. First one here in the VZ, and the next one will be in the Object 780. And you just get the second one's. I get pinned here in the corner, which happens to me a lot. As soon as I get spotted, I'm pinned there. This artillery guy's gonna make sure I don't get out of that corner alive. Right? Once he sees me, he doesn't take his eyes off me. It happens to me all the time. So I try and make an escape, right? And I got a dude there behind me. The reason I chose these two games, they're separated by a little bit in time, but they're remarkably similar in the location. But you'll notice difference in what the enemy team, the way they position their guys, the way their guys position themselves, I should say, and versus how our guys are positioning themselves. So that's it. I'm taken out. And once that happens, the game's, even though it seems close on the scoreboard, the game's over. These guys just collapse back to that right there was the only guy who was up forward, right? And the rest of the guys just collapsed backwards and they trapped themselves back there where they can't see or shoot anything. So the game's virtually over by now, right? All those guys who are focusing me now are free to turn their attention and attack these guys who were sitting so far back. Except for this one guy here. He was trying to do something. But these other guys, they're not supporting him. They're so far back. They collapse backwards. It's like it's bizarre. People go to this default. Like, campers will default back to where they're most comfortable, right? Actually, just people in general will default backwards to the place where they feel most comfortable. But it ends up, of course, being a trap. You can't see or shoot anything from the position they are in. So they get surrounded inevitably and destroyed. I don't know why guys cannot figure this out. But they're going on instinct rather than their instinct. If someone's instinct is to camp and to stay still, then you're not going to break that, right? You're not going to break that out. That's the way they play. And so they're relying on somebody else to go forward and do enough to help them win the game. But we weren't able to because, that the artillery guy clearly suppressed me from moving forward and gave guys enough time on the enemy team to come over to where I was. I mean, why not, right? They weren't being threatened at all by these guys back here. So they come forward and they eliminate the threat, which was me. And then they mop these guys up later. It happens over and over and over and over again on the teams I'm put on. So let's just watch the inevitable play out here. You cannot fight from back there and expect to win. Contrast where our guys are to where the enemy team is. The enemy team's at our base, it's not the other way around, right? If you don't go forward, like if you don't go to the front lines, if you hang back like that, you're going to lose. 9 times out of 10 in this game, or say 8 times out of 10. And I'm always on that team who that's their nature, is to just default backwards and camp. Or they all go to one side of the map and then they put it in park. They park there. Because they're too afraid to move forward. Where this team, the enemy team, wasn't. They move forward, they fire the guns, they win the game. Simple formula. Teams I get put on don't get that though. Second game, the battlefield is for the bold. And it's a video game. I always try and play bold, right? There's no threat in playing bold in a video game. But still, guys are so reluctant to do it. So I'm going forward again, like I always do. Whether it's this side, the other side, or straight up the middle, doesn't matter. I go forward and engage the enemy as far into their territory as I'm able to. In other words, I go as far forward as I can until I'm engaged. And then I try to push through the push through the fight. And this time I have one guy coming with me over here, which is always nice. There was another guy in that last game who also went with me, one on the side of the map. And but eventually he was taken out too, right? And he didn't or couldn't move any forward than what he did. But in this game, this medium tank, shout out to this guy, by the way. He's in the medium Italian premium. And he plays boldly as well. And he does well. So we'll let this play out. See the difference in how the enemy team has positioned themselves as opposed to the last game. But the similarities are, so there's a difference in the way the enemy has played this game so far. But the similarity is with the way our guys have positioned themselves. So, in saying that they all go to one side of the map and then put it in park, this is exactly what my team has done this time. And it's only 2 of us on this side of the map moving forward. But so far we've had no resistance, right? We haven't met any resistance. So keep rolling forward, of course, right? Always think about, I'm always thinking about trying to put pressure on them. I should have an outstanding win record because I do this all the time. I try and put pressure on the enemy team, draw them to me, freeze up, right? Limited number of guys on both sides, even number of guys on both sides. Draw them to me. Our guys on the other side of the map should take advantage of that. But I'm always on the team that's so reluctant to move forward. They are so the opposite of bold. So now we're right in their territory here, and we're going to start to engage, and you know, the shitstorm is going to start here, directed towards me. Another thing, oh, take notice, you're watching this, is this medium tank, for the most part, he plays well. He's relatively safe from shots, and you'll see this over and over and over and over again in my videos. Excuse. Because I'm going to absorb the ire, the shots, the hatred of the enemy team. So he's kind of free. You'll see this over and over again, where the guy who's beside me, or the guys who are beside me, are able to rack up, to his credit, because I'll have other guys in other games beside me who don't do anything, even though they're not the ones getting shot at. But to this guy's credit, he takes advantage of that, and he dishes out some punishment on them, because he knows, hey, they're aimed at that guy over there. They're not aiming at me, for the most part. Not. But that changes here in a second, and as soon as I die. Watch to the end, because this game is a little bit, well, it's very, very close call. Very close call. It takes a long time for our guys on the other side of the map to wake up and realize that, hey, we outnumber them over here. You know, maybe we should do something. Boom. So he's overlooking me here, right? And he took that guy out, but inevitably, I was trying to protect myself as good as I could from those artillery shells and the hits from the other guys. But see where they're camped, right? This game shouldn't have been close. It's 10-7 now that I was taken out. 10-7 when I'm taken out. The guys, now's the time to be bold. I'm always on the freaking team. The last thing they think about is being bold. So this game should not be close. If these guys would just move out of their comfort zone and go forward and freaking attack now and finish it. And unfortunately this guy tried, you know, he knows now, once I'm gone, now the focus is going to be on him, of course. Because the guys on the other side of the map aren't putting any pressure on the enemy team at all. So he's, but he's not long for this world. He took out that guy. Like I said, this guy played well. And, but as soon as he tries to get away there, and there you go. Tried to get away instead of face them and hope against hope. He knew He knew too that he wasn't gonna get any fucking help from these guys, right? They're not moving. Look at. They're not even thinking about moving forward and shooting someone. That's ridiculous. So watch the trouble that reluctance gets them into now. Instead of thinking, hey, there's nobody over here, let me count. Maybe I should move forward and shoot at something. No. They frickin' just park. Now that's just the nature of the guys that wargaming puts me with. A long time ago, a friend of mine said, you know, they know exactly how players play their game. And the matchmaking is matching players, and not only tanks, right? Heavy tank here, heavy tank there. He says, you know, that kind of matchmaking can be done in a split second by the servers. So there's other calculations going on. So they're matching a variety of different things. Like I say, in a lot of other my videos, you know, I came across this article when I first started playing this game that said, from a former employee, he said everything about this game is controlled by wargaming, right? They control everything in this game. So they know your playstyle, right? So now this guy has rolled up. Nobody seems to be too concerned about rolling up with them. And now it's just a 2-point lead. And here, right here is where the battle turns. It's close. And it remains close after this, but in my opinion, this is where the battle turns. I thought this T95, of course, had a big advantage here in this position, but he has an unfortunate thing. Fortunate for us, unfortunate for him. Thing happened to him that turns it here. In my opinion, turns it around. So the face hug thing is going, and our artillery guy is able to get an angle on him finally. He takes a hit there from that TD in the back. He gets whacked, his tracks are off. So he got detracked, and that's it for him, right? That was the difference in the encounter. Unfortunately for him, because just tank for tank, he had a big advantage there, in my opinion. You know, when it comes to the face hugging like that with that 7, was it? So it was 10-7, right when I died. Now it's still unnecessarily close. Another thing I say in my videos, if you'll notice, campers, guys who camp, are no good at this part of the game. Because they don't know how. This is not what they're comfortable with. That's why they default back to just another camping spot usually. Because campers like to camp. They don't like to move forward. And they're no good at this end game stuff where they're trying to finish off an advantage. So watch what I mean. I have lots of examples of this on my channel, but here's just another one, right? Boom. Gone. So now it's 3-2. Full health. A full health T95 because he's been camping. He hasn't really faced any opposition yet because he's been camping. And another shout out to another guy who really did well, and that's this final TD on the enemy team. You know, he also, you could say, he did stay back on his team. But he did step up and dish out some punishment. Not just now, but before what's about to happen here. So you'd think the T95 had a big advantage here. He's in a far superior tank. He's got 2 artillery supporting him instead of just 1. See what I mean by being too cautious? I don't know why he stopped moving forward there. But he stopped, turned a little bit, and see? He got drilled right through the hatch there. The guy drilled him right through the hatch with a great shot. Those guys who camp, they're no good at this endgame stuff. Because they don't do it. They're not comfortable doing it. Now it's not all of a sudden not looking too good. It went from 10-7 to even up now. You also see this new meter here is 7% each, right? 2 tanks, 7% each. Excuse me. So I don't know how. Don't ask me to explain. But somehow he got a victory there. But that was unnecessarily close. And look, do you get compensated for being bold? Look where I'd finish. You can't play any bolder than that. So somebody's got to tell these goofballs in wargaming, the sandwich artists who designed this scoring system. Hey, look, reward boldness. Reward going to the front. Those 2 guys made sure, just like the one in the first game, that I wasn't going to survive that match. And this this guy in this premium Italian tank did very well. Thanks for watching, guys.